Welcome to STL City Showdown. I'm AJ, and this is Steve.
It sure is.
Did you forget who you were?
Man, I go by a lot of names, so yes.
Well, fair enough. Yeah, Steve, you know, this game was perfectly encapsulated by my day today. The wifey and I went out to a small lake. It's called Pinnacle Lake, and we did some fishing, and I love going fishing. I'll say it was just like this game, right? Like, we caught some small fish. After like an hour and a half, we each had two. So it wasn't like it was like an explosion of like fishing. But at the same time, you still walked away with a little bit of something. And to top it off, of course, when I go to get the rod out of the car when I get home, I snap the top off, you know, and this is just like this game was, right? It was like you had like a little bit of an action. It wasn't quite as satisfying as getting like, you know, a 4-pound largemouth or something. Like these are all like little dinks, but it still gave you a little bit of something, just like this game. We got that goal. We had some decent plays. We had some decent Berkey saves. Not decent. Some of them were like, you know, a beautiful.
Like, yes.
And the only difference, though, is just like at the end, they scored a second goal on us. That's just like my fishing pole getting snapped.
Man.
Except that didn't get overturned because, unfortunately, that's still snapped.
You don't have VAR at your home, do you?
No, I don't.
No.
I don't. Yeah.
It's unfortunate. No.
Okay, so you just want to jump into our first game, or do you want to express yourself?
Yeah. So let me tell a story, and then I'll tell another story. So those of you who have listened to this podcast long enough, you know that I have a daughter, and I have put my daughter into the City Futures program. My daughter's been doing it since 2023, and for the first couple years, she was in co-ed teams, and so yeah, boys and girls mixed up, and like even up to last year, she was on a co-ed team, and I don't know those of you who if you've never seen young boys play sports, it's the worst. It's just
Why?
the worst. I don't know I don't know if it's just soccer. Those of you that have boys that play soccer, maybe you can help me. Boys, when they play soccer, before they become like teenagers, they feel the need to screech on the field. I have no idea why. I have not gone to a single practice or a single game involving a boy where at some point they're not screaming and screeching. And I think it's to hear their own voice. I think it's because there's an echo and people respond, but it's the most annoying thing. And when she was on this team last year with the boys, I mean, there was like 3 or 4 screechers. In the middle of the game, they stop and go, ah! And it is loud and annoying. And I want to shove a child over. I just want to push them on their little dumb face and shove them over.
Okay, Child Protective Services. He doesn't actually mean push them over. He means figuratively, right?
So they're not my children.
Even better.
So, yeah, see? Now you get it. So this year, City, I guess they had enough girls join because I guess there wasn't a lot of girls that were out there. I guess when you only have maybe 2 or 3 other girls on a team of 12 and 15, kind of hard to field an extra team. But they must have had enough because they combined U11 and U13, but now there's all girls teams. And so for the City Futures program, for all 5 programs, you have all girls teams. They get to hear the positive voice from a female coach, and they don't interact with the boys much on the field. And that's, my wife and I were watching. My wife said, this is amazing. Josie is getting training from women who know soccer, and she's getting to experience it with other girls. And as we're practicing, AJ, what do you think I hear from the boys' pitches? It was almost perfect timing. And I started to stand up. She's like, don't do it. I was like, well, shut the shot in the first. But like, it is so great. So like, again, like imagine your girls out there playing and they don't have to be putting up with every boy thinking that they are every professional soccer player ever because there's no defense. I just want to start that off with a little story. You know, if you have a girl and she's wanting to play soccer, City Futures, 1 day a week, it's perfect. She's also on a rec team, a local rec team. It's a co-ed team. What do you think happens during those games? Every game It's ree, ree, ree. And it's like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Just let them play. So, I'm stepping off my soapbox there. But I think what you wanted me to talk about is this thing. Buy knockoff jerseys. I don't spend money on the actual jerseys. This is a knockoff jersey. I'm okay with that. I can live with it. But I buy one every time one comes out. And I'm quickly discovering on some cruel fate that this is becoming my favorite one to wear.
No way. Okay, so this is Steve, who last year, almost like every single episode, he was talking about the curse of the collar, how horrible collar, pop in the collars. So he got okay. So the first couple of kits, he was like totally in love with. Like he's like, okay, yeah, this is great. And then he got on this kick about kicking kits. And then when the gold kit came out, right away, he's over there like. He sounded like those boys on the team. Like he was just screeching and complaining.
It's a P kit.
And then now you like the golden shower kit?
Yeah. I mean, I don't mind getting, I guess. You know, we're talking about politics, much like certain politicians. I guess I don't mind having yellow on me. I don't know. But I don't know, man. It's a weird experience. Like I don't like the collar one, but I wear it on game days. I don't mind wearing this one. Like my wife and I are we're setting those very clear guidelines. You can't wear your soccer jerseys on non-soccer days. And I'm like, okay.
What?
But like,
no, yeah. Are you serious? Are you serious?
I did it a lot. You know, they became like part of my wardrobe. Like it's a little much.
But that's a guy thing. Like that's across the world. That's just what guys do across
it is also
the world. Seriously.
Having a happy marriage. And if one spouse,
Steve.
no matter which spouse it is, if one spouse says, I don't like the way you do the thing, you can either choose to be happy or do what you want to do. And this is a very simple thing.
But you know what they say? Happy kit, happy life. Wait, that's the saying, right? I'm pretty sure.
It is now. Yeah. But this is one thing I could give up. So like I have like a whole closet full of like, I love the Cardinals soccer jerseys they came out with for several years. Those are really cool. The giveaways, I have a bunch of those. I've got all of these now. So I've got like 5 different city jerseys now.
Are you allowed to wear like sports shirts?
Allowed. What?
It's like sports, like shirts. Could you wear like a city shirt? You're
I
just
could
not
wear
allowed to wear the kit.
Yeah, because it looks weird. I mean, we're going out, like, if I'm going out to Walmart on a Tuesday, I'm putting this thing on. It's fine. But if we're going out for, like, dinner, I'm not putting it on. If we're going out on a date, I'm wearing recognizable clothes, and I'm okay with that. And it's a sacrifice. I'm a brave person. I will give that up because, you know what? I'm a good husband. Yeah, I'll do it.
Okay. Let's make a transition. We basically went off an amazing tangent about golden showers and everything. Let's vote, okay? Let's take this. We decided a kind of a theme for this episode was going to be politics. You know, this is DC. We're going to go Washington-esque here. Let's vote. What's your favorite kit out of all the ones that we've had?
For me, 100% it's the Confluence kit. 100% it's the Confluence kit.
Okay, that's
without a doubt.
That's a pretty good one. I hate to say it. My favorite one is this one here.
He's going to come back with the gray one from the gray jersey.
The original, the arch blades.
You know, I think that's why the collar kit and then this one was so disappointing because you have like St. Louis represented. I love the arch blades because here's the thing. They didn't come out and initially explain the arch blades. And so you're like, what are these? And then when you looked it up and you're like, they did that. The very first kit, they did that. That was so dope. And then they came out with the Confluence and all of them are different and they're actual rivers. Like, I know a lot of people that weren't from St. Louis didn't like that because they don't get it. But man, that was a dope kit. And I actually don't even mind the prison kit, the first away jersey we had. I don't mind that one just because it does look like a soccer kit and I've got mine over there. But like, and it's got the 23 founder patch on the collar. I do dig that. But then when they went with but even with the collar kit, they still had the 5 stripes and they tried to tie that back to 1950, which it works, but then you got the collars. And then, I mean, this thing is just, it's just not connected at all. I'm sorry, Tina Turner. There's so many better people you could use, but like for me, for sure, it's a Confluence kit. I can't wait to see what they come up with for the next home kit on the next primary kit. 'Cause after this season is over, we get the new primary kit will be
yeah, and I'm kind of curious too because the sprint season and then we go to the fall season, so we're gonna have a quick turnaround between having new home kit and then all of a sudden. Okay, so you ready for our first true segment? 15 minutes into this.
You know what? I think we already did it. I think we just back it up. Actually, no, just like this team,
Mic
first
drop.
half, I think we're good. I think we're good, guys. We're not gonna come back out. We're just gonna go home now.
All right, Steve. I think we need to convene the city council. Basically, what we're going to do is we're going to convince each other to vote together and, be unified on whatever we're trying to convince each other of.
Right. And it's because City is playing DC.
Right.
In DC. They're in the city of sin.
Wait, that's Las Vegas, right?
Have you been to Vegas? Have you been to DC? A lot of sin there, buddy. Have you seen the pool? Come on now. There's sin in there.
You want to go with the first one?
Yeah. All right. So I am going to present to the city council that there was a mistake in the man of the match. Apple decided in some weird, crooked voting system that Sang Ben should have been the man of the match when FOTMob had it right. FOTMob had Chris Durkin as the man of the match. And by the way, I don't know if you even know this or not, but Chris Durkin's probably the best player on our team. And he deserves to be man of the match pretty much every match just because he's out there. But I am going to, hopefully in the next 30 seconds, present my argument as to why Chris Durkin should be the man of the match over Sang Ben. You ready?
Man, this is tough. Okay, let's hear this.
All right. So to begin with, if you look at the heat map from where these two play, Sang Ben is essentially on the right side only and really in the attacking right, while my mad dog is all over the dang field. He's in the back. He's in the front. He's like Roy Kent. He's everywhere. He's all over. He's running 7-8 miles a match. So from right there, sorry, Sang Ben, go back home, bozo. Also, guess who played the whole game? Not Sang Ben. Chris Durkin did. So Chris Durkin right there. If you're going to play the whole game, you deserve to be man of the match. Sang Ben, man of the 3 quarters, maybe. Another thing, by the way, who had a goal tonight? That's right. Chris Durkin had a goal. Boom. Over Sang Ben. Sang Ben didn't. He had an assist, but he didn't kick the dang ball in the net. My boy Chris Durkin did. Also, who had better passing? Chris Durkin. He had a lot better passing by like 4 or 5%. My man put the ball in the net. Better shot accuracy. You know who else had 2 shots but couldn't get it in the net? Sang Ben. So you know what? I think I got plenty right there. But my man Chris Durkin, he had 61. I'm looking at the stats right now. 61 touches on the ball. Oh, it's over twice as many as Sang Ben had. So how are you going to give man of the match to someone who touched the ball a whole lot less than the man that deserved it? I didn't even got to go through the defense because Sang Ben wouldn't know defense if you shoved him in the face with it, much like a boy screeching on the field. But my boy Chris Durkin does. So you know what? I think I'm good there. I think that's plenty of evidence. So Chris Durkin needs to get that little sticker. MOTM.
You know what's kind of silly is
that Sang Ben got the man of the match.
I'm so glad your wife doesn't listen to this podcast because how excited.
How do you know she doesn't listen? Dang, what you know something? Because she's the number one listener.
Man, if she listened to how you talked about Chris Durkin, you guys would be having some marital issues. Oh my gosh. Like,
boy, she's okay with it.
She's okay with it.
Yeah, it's my hall pass. It's fine. It's my hall pass. It's fine.
Okay, well, that makes sense. Okay.
That sure does.
Meeting adjourned.
That's all you go home. Just like the city has at the first half.
Totally see what we care usually more about the eye test than we do the statistics, right? But I think the statistics can still be useful, especially when you pair it with the eye test. And I'm not going to go over the same ones you did. I would say it was very favorable. Like, he had a pretty good game. The one thing I will say about Sang Bin, though, is he had some pretty episodes or events or some runs, especially like that link up between Berkey all the way to Sang Bin. Like
Yes.
that created some exciting moments. And of course, he had the assist, right? But I think what you're trying to say too is that, unfortunately, defensive players, usually we just kind of take them for granted a lot of times, right? Like, you just see them, they steal the ball or they win second balls, and you're like, okay, great. But it's the flashy stuff that usually catch people attention. And I think that's maybe what happened with Apple. So if we had to vote, all in favor of Chris Durkin as the man of the match. Okay.
And I get 2 votes. So
your wife doesn't. You're voting for your wife? Okay, fine.
yes, a couple years. All right. But here's the thing. I love Sang Bin. You and I are we've been kind of defending Sang Bin over the internet trolls because like he's so fast and he is really good. And we can see that. And like his movement on the ball tonight was amazing. It really was. And like the way he was able to get down and get that pass, and like Twiker missed it and Durkin was right there with the rocket. Like, it was perfect. I mean, Sang Bin is a hell of a player. Nice. By the way, did you hear that the Apple announcers for multiple games have called the Fall Guys brothers?
Are you serious?
Multiple times. They think aren't
they from 2 different countries?
They are, and this is a popular type of surname. And but because the Apple announcers, they don't know any of these teams, they just come in, they don't do any research, and they get handed notes. And a producer probably handed them that note.
What did you think of the female announcer? I thought she was. Did you listen to the Apple feed?
I did tonight.
I thought she was great.
I thought she was so much better than the male announcer tonight because he kept getting weird facts wrong, including the fact that the Falls are brothers.
He called, I'm pretty sure he called DC United at one point Houston.
He did.
Okay, I'm not crazy.
Yes.
Like, yeah, that happened.
No, I heard it. And there was some other rude. It's like there was just zero. There's only a few really good like Apple announcers, and he ain't one of them. But
it's sad.
There's some where you hear their voice and you're like, oh, I do like that guy. And I do like that lady.
Anybody who's listening that's listened to us, this is definitely a different episode than we've kind of ever done. We're just like really ADD. We're just really frustrated. By the way, if anybody's counting, especially with Steve here, I have to keep like time logs here of the different words he's saying. And yes, I have to cover them up with my fingers so it doesn't like.
Oh, it's a family show.
Yeah, it's a family show. So at 12:07, there's a word I have to delete. Basically at 23, there's a whole host of words between 26 and 29 I have to delete.
Basically, it's a George Carlin 7 words you can't say on television bit constantly. Yeah. My wife likes to say I use them as adjectives.
Let's go back to our city council game. You ready for this?
Yeah. All right.
There's a lot of discussion, and this always bounces back and forth between the games. Right. And I feel like we have to talk about the strikers. So my motion for the city council is that if we had to pick one of the two, Betcher should start every game over Cordova. And here's my reason why. My argument is that both are not that good. My biggest primary argument here is that Betcher, we unfortunately signed a huge agreement with him. It wasn't huge, but I mean, I can't remember the exact terms on it, but it was a multi-year deal. I think it's for 3 seasons or 3 years. And Cordova is on loan until the summer transfer window. Yeah. Now, technically, we could buy that contract and we could have him here permanently, but there's no point to have both of these guys here. Yeah. Like, you have to, in the summer transfer window, actually get somebody in here. So we're not going to keep both. So what's the point of keep starting Cordova? I would rather see us try to mold and try to find Betcher's footings because we know there's some potential there. Remember when he first came in? Now, of course, this was also when Teutschert was doing really well too, but we saw that potential. So if we find in how to tap into it, it helps. And part of it is maybe he needs some support that we just haven't found yet. Like, I'll give you, for instance, this game and last game, one of the things that we started doing is we started taking the right wing back and started inverting them so they play more central as they come up, and then take the right winger and then kind of put them more in a traditional right wing role. And it really has helped to build up, especially going into the final third.
Yeah.
Right? So maybe stuff like this might help him out. Now, I'm not saying Betcher's going to be our primary striker, right? But he's going to be a good second string, like coming in with like 15 minutes left in the game, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
The one thing I will say is Betcher's much better defensively, in my opinion. He doesn't make as many stupid boneheaded plays like Cordova does. He hustles.
Yeah.
I will give him A for effort, right? He's a smart player. He doesn't make a lot of boneheaded mistakes. He just doesn't have that athleticism, you know? But as somebody who's your guy coming in with 15 minutes left, especially if you have the lead, that's kind of what you want.
Well, I never want to see Betcher as our main striker. No, but because he's just, I mean, we saw it again tonight. We saw multiple times tonight where it was set up for him and it just didn't work out. And he just missed it and he just didn't make the good athletic play. Yeah, I think when we signed him, we still had Klaus on our roster there, and it was like, this is a cheap sign.
Good point.
Like, I don't think it was a lot of money. It was, we just don't want this guy. We want to be able to have him for keepsies. And I think that's it. I think, or Apple's like, you really should have someone that's from your area on your team. That'll help with your marketing. And that's probably why they kept him on. But like, it's just boneheaded stuff. And now, you've said it the entire season that you would rather have Betcher over Cordova, which is fine because Cordova is a short term. And it really is seeming now like that the signing is just useless. Why even sign him if it's just going to be for part-time and we're not even going to use him that much? Why even make him a on paper DP? Like, it's just stupid. It hasn't worked out at all. Might as well not have someone starting that's not going to be here because I don't see any way how he's going to be here. But your point today was Betcher starting. And yeah, I'm just going to say yeah, because at this point, what does it matter? Like, neither of these guys are really good. And we might as well keep the guy on the field that's going to be here. And he was starting every game before. It just wasn't the 9. It just wasn't the main guy out there. And it's unfortunate that he now is there. We've said it multiple times. Like, Betcher is fine what he is because we're not going to be able to get a Messi on our team.
No, of course not.
No.
So,
yep. So yeah, no,
all in favor?
Yeah. Unfortunate. It's like one of those you hold your nose and you push the button kind of situation. It's like, yeah, I guess.
Okay, so next order of city council business. You ready for this?
Yeah.
Every good city council needs to talk about budget and spending.
Mm-hmm.
For this segment, let's think here. Now, obviously, every team wants upgrades. Now, let's specifically talk about positions here. Okay, we're going to take an arbitrary number here and say we're going to upgrade 4 positions.
Damn.
Now, I'm pretty sure. I know.
That's another word.
That was true. Yeah.
Oh, God. AJ's like, damn it. There's another one.
I know. Like, let's just write this down.
This is chopped to. Not doing it. Not doing it. Not doing it.
Okay. Good, Steve.
So four
positions. Let's just get it out of the way. We both will agree striker is one of them.
Easy. Goodbye.
Yeah. So we're not even going to debate that.
Just 3.
Yeah. You got 3 other places. This is like your magic wand. Like, you can upgrade 3 other spots. What would they be?
Well, definitely the wingers. Because
like the wing backs?
Yeah,
or
definitely.
Like up top?
Yeah, I think the wing backs. Then, I don't know, man. I think it'll be good if we had some true attacking midfielders that we could actually... Although, nope, because we have Hartle. I tell you what, you'd be better for this. So what solid positions do you think would you want to upgrade?
I'm going to basically assume that Hartle's going to play that like left wing / attacking midfielder that we've been doing, right? And I'm assuming that there's not a formation change because I don't think that's going to happen as long as Demay's here. I'm going to think, I know Sangbin has done well. I think the right wing is going to be that's been a rotating spot between Toychert, Cordova, and Sangbin. So I think that's the number 2 spot. Leuven, I think, is your central defensive midfielder. And then either Durkin or Edelman. Probably Durkin is going to be your basically 6, essentially. And then I would have to agree with you. Your 2 wing back are probably, especially the volume side, is going to be huge, right? Now, you could make an argument that I think Totland's pretty serviceable, actually, because I think he does start on a lot of teams. He's not great. Do you want to hear something controversial?
What's up?
And it's going to get us in hot trouble.
Hot trouble as opposed to cold trouble.
Yeah.
You don't want those cold trouble spots.
So if this was a magic wand and we're talking about upgrades, what do you think about the goalkeeper?
Okay. The only problem with this is we got our goalkeeper tied up for 3 years. So if we're going to upgrade, we're selling a lot of other players in order to get him out.
But this is magic. This is magic wand. Like the kind of like, what would you like to see upgrade?
After 10, I don't know, man.
I mean, tonight was an amazing night, and fans usually focus on the most recent thing that happened. But he's been in the bottom third of goalkeepers all season long.
But it would be interesting. I know Ben Lunt hasn't had a lot of action this year, but what is that goal difference, that save differential? Is that the stat that's used for like that big plus or minus about how many goals that they gave up versus how much they saved? Like how much would he be that much of an improvement over Berkey right now? Like Berkey took like some age pills tonight and he was able to make some pretty good saves. Like he had a couple. He wasn't asked to make like 15, 20 saves tonight, but like he made some really snap judgment saves tonight that probably could have caved the game. Body of work, I say, yeah, we can have an upgrade from the goalkeeper of the year in 2023.
So I'll give you an example here, right? So if we look at the XG faced, right, he faced 18.5. So that's how many goals he should give up. He's given up 20. So he's a negative 1.5 goalkeeper. So he's he's been worse than what the XG would have said.
Now, does that take into consideration like the goal tonight where Tottenham was just kind of standing off to the side? And
of course not.
Okay.
Of course not.
Right.
This is just, I mean, it's like the same thing.
Shots
where
versus saves. That's all it is. Just black and white numbers.
Yeah. I mean, it's not always the eye test, but something to think about.
So if we're just going eye test, yeah. I'd say let's get him out of here. Get that bum out of here. He can be happily married somewhere else.
Yeah. I mean, I just thought that was some fun controversy, right? Like I get Berkey's a face, but I could see striker, right wing, and then the two wing backs.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking.
I think if we're looking at positions that we could definitely, like I'm looking at our lineup tonight. Striker for sure. We could do better than Volume. So Volume's position.
Easily.
We can. Fall was actually not horrible tonight. He got that really stupid foul we'll have to talk about later, but I don't know, man. Like, there's a lot of our players where I think if we had someone who could put ball into net consistently, we would probably win a lot of the games we've lost this year because we're not giving up a ton of goals. We're just not. Like, Volume's making dumb decisions. He's not been great, but, like, can you imagine? Like, I get that Klaus got hurt. Klaus was going to get hurt. Players get hurt.
Of course.
But if we didn't chase him off, we would have 5 more goals this season, and possibly more depending on how he was playing. But we would have someone who was dependable to put ball into net, and we don't have that. So our defense is relied on a lot more, and it's becoming a sieve. And actually, you would probably even look at like the analysts that can look at this. They can probably see like a lot of our formations now, a lot of our lineups are probably more defensive minded because we can't have a good press anymore. Even if our coach was going to want to be defensive minded, he has to be now because he can't have a dependable lineup out there for scoring because Betcher ain't it. Can you imagine I could not imagine being a race car driver and having my race car manager say, "Hey man, we got 3 wheels. Go out there and do your best." Like, what do you mean? I need 4. I need a full complement to do my best. And they're like, "Nah, man, you're good." Right.
So
You don't need 3.
you're actually segueing into a really nice short segment here, and that's basically the approval ratings. So just like anytime you talk about a politician, there's always the approval ratings. And for DeMay, right, like we were basically at one point, the city was ready to kick this guy out. Now we've had 2 wins and now this draw. What do you feel like his approval ratings are? Are they still in the gutter like they were? Did he go up tremendously after these 3 games or what?
When we were ahead tonight, my major thought was wins do wonder for opinion. If we would have won again tonight, would that be 3 in a row?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would have been an official streak.
3 in a row. Streak. All of a sudden, the woes of the head coach would go away. You wouldn't hear people talking about the head coach. And in fact, what we're seeing now on, like, at least comments are the players are at fault. Matt Baker, after the one of our losses, was very hypocritical, or not hypocritical, but very on the coach about the lineups. Basically, the fact that we're not seeing Ostrak out there. We're not seeing a lot of the players we should.
Right.
Those issues are not been solved. They've not been solved. So I think, unfortunately, you're going to see DeMay's approval rating. If it was like, say, in like the 30s, I bet you if you were to poll people, it would be in like the 50s now, because it's not his fault the players aren't playing, but it's his lineup. It is his lineup. And so, by the way, before you go, he chose to heavily rotate tonight in order to potentially win an elimination non-MLS game on Tuesday. Imagine that. Imagine that. Imagine so, we potentially gave up a win tonight so we can possibly win in a game that doesn't matter.
How many points were we behind playoff? Was it 4 points? 4. Okay, so we're now, I'm looking at this here, we're currently 6 points behind. So that's unfortunate now.
So we've
definitely lost some ground.
We're 2 points more. And if we would have won tonight, we probably would be like 1 behind, or probably in that 9th position.
Well, if we
based on what happened last week,
4.
Right.
Yeah, we would have stayed at 4 points. Yeah, correct. So I kind of agree with you. It's one of those things that's well known in sports that when you win, it starts to erase any kind of doubt, any kind of issues. A lot of fans that are upset about anything. I mean, just look at like some of the controversies that the team has had, right? Like when we were talking about some of the hats and flags and stuff like that, right? Like when your team is doing amazing, a lot of times even just controversies that are not pitch related start to dissipate a little bit, right? Same thing in the opposite direction too. I still feel though that I don't know if I would say like if he was in the 30s, I don't think he would be in the 50s right now. I feel like he would be something like 45%. Not quite the majority, but approaching like a coin flip, just because I think people are still leery.
I don't know, man.
Like we're still like,
I think if you were to, if the poll question was, who's at fault for this loss, or who's at fault for this non-win, and you had the ownership, management, coach, or players, I think after tonight, a lot of it would be on the players. I don't think a lot of people are going to be saying it's DeMay. Because they're just going to ignore the fact that that's his lineup, and that's the players that he left off the bench, and that's all this other stuff. They're just going to look at the action on the field. When it's easy to blame him the way it started, because we won 2 in a row. People just aren't going to be looking at that. They're just, you know what? One guy on, there's a guy on Reddit that does the player ratings.
Yep.
And the coach is included in that. And I wonder what DeMay's rating has been up until even last week, and what it's going to be this week, because that guy usually releases the results like on Sunday or Monday, and I'm wondering where that's perfect because it's on a percentage base, so I wonder what it's going to be.
Okay, so we should look at that, and next time we do a recording, so next week maybe we should bring that up because that's a good point. Yeah. He keeps all the polls up there.
Yeah. And watch out. Kansas won tonight.
Whoa.
Yes. And they beat Austin. And they are now only 2 points behind us. Again, if we would have won, they would be 3 points or 4 points behind us. But now they're only 2 points behind us. And
holy crap. They're not last anymore.
No. Philadelphia still is. Philadelphia drew tonight.
Holy moly.
And Philadelphia has 7 points. 13 matches in, Philadelphia has single-digit points.
Oof.
And
okay, then.
who do we play next in MLS play? Because this is so we didn't have a soft game tonight, but I was Austin. Okay. That's good. So we play.
Oh shoot, we got one more league play until the World Cup is done.
Yeah, we got 2 more games. So this would be pretty. We could potentially be in last place. So Kansas City they play Red Bull next week. So chances are they're going to lose that game unless Red Bull is just not. Let's see, New York is currently in Red Bull. They're in 6th place, 19 points. So they probably don't want to lose. So let's just say. And we play Austin. I think it's pretty well. I think it's pretty well. I don't think we're going to be in last place. Oh, we're in St. Louis against Austin.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think we draw. I don't think we win. I think we win, but I don't think Kansas wins. I mean, really, you said it. You can't figure out how we win right now. And I thought that we were going to draw this match, but I thought that we would have 2 goals because DC gives up a lot of goals. But yeah, we found a way to not win again. So 13 games, 3 wins. That's not a winning formula. And we're going to be rotated. No, we're not. We might be rotated against Austin if we're going to.
No,
you don't think
I don't
so?
think so.
You think they're going to? You think he's going to put out a full team on Tuesday and then ride again on Saturday?
Yes,
because of the rest.
Here's why. Because there's literally a month and a half of rest, and because we play May 23rd and literally July 16th, we literally go a month and a half until our next game. A month and a half.
Yeah, but what if a player gets hurt on Saturday because they just played on Tuesday?
So here's the thing, right? Players there's a lot of players, right? Timo has literally played every game, I believe, unless I'm missing one, but he's played literally every single game, right? There are players that will play Saturdays, Wednesday, then Saturday again. I think we have a full lineup because here's the other thing. Like you said, the last thing you want to do, right? Especially after a month and a half. Could you imagine? So imagine with me for a second here. Okay. If we lost May 23rd and then Kansas won, we would be 15th in the West and we would have to live with that, wondering, are we going to stay there forever for the next month and a half before we could even do anything about it?
But also, yeah, I don't think Kansas wants to be in last place. They're within striking distance.
Right.
Ugh.
But the fate is in our hands because we're the ones that control it. Because as long as they win,
we will hold on to 14th place.
Fight the power. Fight.
You shall not take my 14th place. We're in 2nd place from the bottom. We will hold on to it from the bottom.
One of my favorite memes, you mentioned this last week, was the one where the guy is biting the metal and he's acting like he's won, but he's all the way down on the list. Yeah, exact same thing here. Okay, Steve, before we go, because we've definitely been a train that's been derailed and then somehow derailed further and then fell off a cliff. Let's do our last one, which is kind of the state of the city. So kind of like the state of the union, but the state of the city. So I'll let you go first. Just kind of a minute and a half of, I know. How about 10 seconds?
Better get that button ready. Let me go for a minute. You're gonna hear some words. Yeah. All right. So listeners, I want to let you know that the state of the team is bad. We are in a bad place right now. We need reinforcements to come in. We are doing our best. We're holding the line, but right now we have not been doing very well. I'm going to be honest with you. Times are tough. The future is bleak. The city is going to be overrun soon if we don't get some reinforcements in here. I have reached out to our ownership team, and I got nothing back. I think they stopped taking our calls. So we need you to reach out to ownership and say, let's do something, please, because we like scores and wins. More, please. We can't do it ourselves. The team is in bad shape. It's not good, guys. We're in 14th place. It's not good. We're in 14th place in the West. I would like to say that things are looking up, but we were, again, in a winning position, and we dropped that today. And My boy Chris Durkin can't do it all by himself. He's out there running 9 different positions, but he can't do it all by himself. He's the best player in the league, but can't do it himself. So that for me is the state of our league, is the state of our team. It's S is bad.
S is bad.
S is bad.
Yeah.
What's your state of the team? Probably more optimistic than mine.
I don't know about that. So here's the realistic thing, right? So I was thinking like parallels to like real world versus whatever. You were talking, like you sent me a text earlier this week, I think it was, and LAFC, I think, was in 3rd place, and they were whining about how bad they were because they weren't doing great, et cetera, et cetera. And I was thinking, like, they literally have like first world problems, right? Like they're literally near the top of the table and they're whining. And here we are, like the poor nation, and we're in 14th out of 15th, like literally almost like the bottom feeder. Thank goodness for Kansas, right?
Yay.
And we're just like, can we even have like one goal?
Yeah.
They probably have, I don't know how many goals they have, but they probably have, I don't know, plenty. And we're here, we're just like, can you give us a goal, please? Like, how many games do we not even have a goal?
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Now, I am optimistic.
Ooh.
I am optimistic, though.
Okay.
And here's why. I think because of your point. If you make the argument that it's the player's fault and not the coach, then if the summer window hits, because there's going to be some kind of action. Obviously, fans, they want basically a whole brand new team. That's not going to happen, right? But we're going to get probably 3 or 4 players, right? That can potentially make.
You think we'll sign 3 or 4?
I do. But they might not be. Correct. Okay. I'm not saying like designated players. I'm talking about like they might be like a Edelman level.
Okay.
Like I think you're gonna get a DP striker. I think you're gonna get like somebody like on Edelman level. Maybe if we get fancy, we might get a TAM player. But that's kind of what I'm thinking. You know. So when that happens, okay, that kind of fixes part of the player problem. Because here's also the best part too, is people who are currently starting on our roster now, right, would get bumped off of the starting roster, and then they bump off the people on the bench. So your bench becomes stronger as well, right? Yeah. Now, the thing is if we look at the coaching, there was a lot of problems. I feel like he's made some mistakes. He's a first-year coach. Like, he's literally never been a head coach before. He did what he thought it was right. He said, hey, I'm going to stick with my lineup no matter what because I want player confidence, right? I think he's changing his mind now. I think he's realizing how stupid that was, to be honest with you. Because look at last game. Valum wasn't starting, and things have changed, right? The other thing is I think he looked at his tactics and he said, okay, well, what's going on? We started seeing that right wing back starting to invert between these past 2 games, I think it was now. I think he's starting to learn how to be a head coach, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
So I'm optimistic in that sense. Now, are you going to say, hey, do you think we're going to get into playoffs this year? No, I don't, right? But the thing I care about is, are we getting better?
So
are we getting better?
We're 6 points out of a playoff spot. I honestly do believe that if we have a high quality DP striker, like right now we have a DP striker and his name is Cordoba. No one would believe it, but he is. If we have a high quality, well-known DP striker, I think at this point we could be a playoff team because 6 points is 2 wins. It's just 2 wins. And if we can pick up 2 wins every 3 games the rest of this season, 2 wins every, so if we're winning 2/3 of our games, we're making the playoffs. You know, that takes a high quality player, because I just said earlier in this recording that our defense has been good enough to keep us in the games. If we could score more than 1 point per game average, which is where we're at, we haven't been giving them a crap ton of goals. I think if we have a striker, we're winning more of these games. We might have 6. I wonder what the replacement, like the war would be if we have a better striker. I bet we have 6 to 7 wins at this point.
So check this out. This is actually, you're going to like this fact. You ready? I said our next MLS game because we got one more before the World Cup break, right? So that's on May 23rd. Our next game is July 16th. guess when the summer window opens for MLS?
July 16th.
13th. July 13th. So it's actually before that game. Now, even if they did sign somebody on the first day,
It's
which they're
mid-July,
not,
yeah,
right? They're not going to. But even if they did, it would still take some time to get here. Because I think when Teuchert and Hartel came in, I don't think they started until it was like the second week of August.
Right. Yeah.
If I recall,
Yeah.
something like that. But still, the point that I'm trying to make is this World Cup break is actually beneficial for City because it delays the time until this summer window.
Yeah. No, and I really, if the team decides to spend money, which I'm not confident they're going to, come on, we have 3 years of experience to tell us the team doesn't care. I'm prepared to be heartbroken that we're going to sign Cordova as our main striker. But if we do manage to lure someone in from somewhere else that's not a Bundesliga 2 player and it can actually score goals on a regular basis, like I think we will at least, how about we would be fighting for that last playoff spot.
Okay.
I mean, 6 points right now, 6 points from 14th to 9th place. There's a lot of games we could have won. Remember all those games that Teuchert just decides to shoot the ball this way, he's wide open, or Betcher decides to not put a foot on the ball? Like, the difference those games would have made.
Absolutely. %.
Difference that would have made.
Okay, Steve. It's been about an hour.
Yeah, well, an hour because of random computer shutoffs and other stupid nonsense. Do you have one or two hot takes from tonight?
Okay, so goal or no goal, one of our favorite segments. Okay, so we kind of addressed this a little bit, but we didn't really. So Shags Magoo on Reddit said, it is Reddit usernames. We love you. Is it annoying that we didn't get the win? Yes, but a rotated squad that went on the road and got a point, so I'm not going to get too angry. Goal or no goal?
Man, I'm going to say no goal, because that's that attitude that fans become complacent with draws and losses. That is that best fans in baseball nonsense where we got to always root for the team no matter what. So that guy can shove it up his foot. Again, we're a family show, AJ. We don't say stuff like butthole. So we have to be careful. That's 1 hour and 5 minutes for your there we go. So no, it's just I don't like that attitude, because that's how you start to make excuses for everything. If we say, "Oh, but they were the coach decided to heavily rotate this game. He was not forced to. They made the choice, guys, for the Open Cup." So yeah, that's what I got. What about you? Go or no go on that one?
Yeah, I'm going to have to disagree. I'm going to say goal, because when I seen that lineup, if you had told me, hey, you're going to draw, are you quote unquote okay with it? Like, I'm not going to say like obviously a win, like I would be okay with a win, right? But like realistically on the road with a heavily rotated staff on a already bad team, I'm going to say, yeah, I'll take the point.
Okay.
Right. So,
I mean, you're wrong, but that's good. Guy Smiley says, Durkin getting more goals than yellows is truly a notable feat. Go or no goal?
I don't believe this reality. Like, we're in some kind of multiverse. So I'm going to say no goal just because I don't believe this.
Yep. I'm going to say no goal as well.
I think it's just all fake news.
I mean, Durkin has 2 goals this year. Like, what are we doing where he's about to be the goal leader on this team? Like, it's crazy. Goal or no goal? Duo presentation says we are missing Celio so bad.
Celio is one of my favorites. So, you have Durkin, I kind of have the Celio. Absolutely. Because one of the things that just like drives me nuts, right, is there will literally be open space on the field and they're always only looking to pass. There's just some times where I'm just like, man, if Celio had that ball at his feet, he'd take off.
Yeah.
He would dribble that. And he would try to go around people. He would try to take them. He would try to duel them. I miss that.
Yeah.
To me, that's the fun soccer that I like to watch.
Yeah.
But I get it.
Can you imagine Saint Ben on one side, Celio on the other, and just the speed and the ball handling, and had a guy that could kick the ball forward?
I mean, honestly, Hartel and Celio, I would just like to see those two up top with a true striker.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, 100%. Casilio can make some really good corners too, or not corners, crosses sometimes. Well, way better than anybody else we got. Did you just say Guy Smiley was one that you just quoted? Okay, here's another one by Guy Smiley 314. So good to see Miggy big enough to physically body another player. It was one of his greatest weaknesses when starting in MLS. Yeah, so Miggy was literally this like little scrawny dude. And then I swear, like on the off season, he's like,
well, so in 23, he was 18 years old. He was still in high school. And so, he was a child. And then they sent him to play in the UF or the
US.
Yeah, the USL. And he played in Birmingham for a full year. And he's been like getting beefed up. And he's out there bodying guys now. It's pretty impressive to see. Like that guy, I'm fully on board with that comment for sure. And he's not a push shove over. He is tough.
Yeah. That was my last goal or no goal here.
All right, last one I got. Let's see. Take the point and GTFO. Leave Vollum there. Goal or no goal. Didn't we just say leave Vollum in Houston?
I know.
That poor guy. Man. He's getting dropped off everywhere. I feel bad for the town. I feel bad for the cities that were potentially leaving him there because then he has to join their team, and I don't want that for them either. That's not fair. We're the one that signed that guy. We re-signed him. I
just wonder, like, did something happen? Did it go to his head? Because he was here. We signed him on a TAM deal. Like, literally, he's one of the more expensive players. Yeah. And what have we got for it? Nothing.
Tons of people said, good signing. I was one of them. It's a good signing. You were one of them. It's a good signing.
Oh, it was absolutely. Great. I was super excited.
Didn't cost a lot of money. I mean, didn't cost more than what we thought. And it's just like, great. And now it's just every game. At one point, I think I said we could shoot him into the Mississippi. Like all the ways we can get rid of this poor guy.
So I will say, because this goes back to your comment about the coach versus players. At first, I was like, okay, is he just playing in the wrong position? Is this a coaching thing? Is this a system? But then after watching him this game and even last game, I started noticing, no, this is individual player skill issues. Like at some point, it's not the system when you miss a cross. It's not the system when you're too slow to react. You know, that's not the system.
Yeah. And some of the faces he gets when he gets yellows now, it's just like, really? You didn't think that would be an issue? Like someone needs to sit him down and do a performance review and be like, can we talk about realistic how you think you did today? And like they need HR to come in there with a chart. And have him get that little butt clench because he knows he's about to get a talking to.
You know what's crazy is it feels like now Vollum is getting more yellows than Durkin.
No. See, stay in your lane, Vollum. Durkin's the only yellow collector we need. And I think that's his problem. He's trying to compete with Vollum for the more yellows. And it just comes natural for Durkin. You don't have to try. He's just really good at shoving people out of the way and getting yellows a lot. So, man.
By the way, if you've seen this mug that I have here, it's a little heart mug, right? I know you were eyeing this. You want this so bad. This was from my stepdaughter. This is like the first gift that she's kind of given me.
Nice.
It was Valentine's.
There we go.
So, cute little mug. Anyways.
Cute little mug. I thought you were talking about me. You saw me like cute little mug, but I guess not.
Oh, jeez. Okay, delete scene.
Can't. It's in there now. That's what she's okay. So, all right. Do you want to call a merciful end to this?
I would say so. Yes.
You know
please.
what? I would say we ended in a tie. I would say this broadcast ended in a tie. So if you stuck around again, why? What the hell? I guess thanks. Leave a note if you stuck around this long, and AJ will send you $10. So when we're all done here, then
what?
Yeah. Well, you will. So
can I borrow your wallet for a second?
I am a teacher. You can have it.
Teachers make tons of money in Illinois, right?
Yeah, we are definitely, yeah, we definitely don't use busted computers because we make so much money. All right, this is over. All right, so go ahead, look around, pump your arms, and go, thank you for starting all for City, baby.